stars align. Kelly Coffee takes you on a ride divine. In her thought bubble we soar through the night, exploring the universe, our vision takes flight. The symphony of galaxies fills the air. Come with me, let's ride on the cosmic breeze. With Kelly Coffee we'll journey through galaxies. In her dark bubble we'll explore the unknown. A grand adventure like no other we've known.
change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays, way back a year ago. I've changed for the better this time. I thought I would never be fine. I strive just to say I'm alright, and for the first time in a long time I'm alright. I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays, way back a year ago. I'm not falling. I'll push all my chips and call all in. I'll bet on myself, you keep stalling. I hear destiny and it's calling. I'll keep my head up high through the downs and lows, and we're all going life. Still nobody knows, but I'ma choose what's right and take what comes and goes. And ain't no one in life holding me back no more. I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays, way back a year ago. Back a year ago.
When there's no hope hiding, no chance concealing what deep down I felt for you. Oh, I regret for losing the one who loved me, for who I can't go back to. Walking through all the dust, memories and frame, a past we simply let fade. Oh, but I don't close the door, waiting a chance for when we'll be back again. You make me feel so crazy, still in love with you. You make me feel amazing when I'm next to you. You make me feel so crazy, my heart breaks for you. Can't help but know that I'm still in love with you. You make me feel so. When there's no hope loving for you, who saw me before I knew who I'd be. What I have around me means nothing to me if I can't share it with you. Walking through all the dust, memories and frame, a past we simply let fade. But I don't close the door. Hiding, no chance concealing what deep down I felt for you. Oh, I regret for losing the one who loved me, for who I can't go back to. Walking through all the dust, memories and frame, a past we simply let fade. Oh, but I don't close the door, waiting a chance for when we'll be back again. You make me feel so crazy, still in love with you. You make me feel amazing when I'm next to you. You make me feel so crazy, my heart breaks for you. Can't help but know that I'm still in love with you. You make me feel so. When there's no hope, loving for you who saw me before I knew who I'd be. What I have around me means nothing to me if I can't share it with you. Walking through all the dust, memories and frame, a past we simply let fade. But I don't close the door, waiting a chance for when we'll be back again. You make me feel so crazy, still in love with you. You make me feel amazing when I'm next to you. You make me feel so crazy, my heart breaks for you. Can't help but know that I'm still in love with you. You make me feel so.
And oh my god, I caught it. Okay, I completely messed up. I think I fixed it now. Sorry about that. Yeah, hey. Hey there. Hey Mel. Hey Ken. Hey Brian. Oh, Brianna. Hi. Sparkhouse. Good morning. Oh, I love it. How you guys doing today? Oh my gosh, there's a lot to talk about and very little time, so let's get to it. Anybody here in the GATE program? Anybody went through that? Yeah, that was really interesting. So when you look at the progression, where does it go? So you guys tell me what you know. I'll tell you what I remember. So the project paperclip, okay, and then MK Ultra, and then from that, testing certain types of people with the MK Ultra. Then you would test the children. And that would be the GATE program. Whatever the details are. I see an entire generation of gifted kids. And what do you do with these gifted kids? They're in a school system, they can't be programmed. They're smart enough to get by, make it through. But along about age 3, and there's a reason for that. I'll do other videos on dyslexia if you want me to. Autism and stuff. But about 3rd grade, when all the pictures are taken out of the books, you guys, symbols that we weren't taught a concept and a meaning first and then applied a symbol. You were taught to memorize a symbol. So if you memorize a symbol and you don't even know what it stands for, you see how easily you can be programmed? Does that make sense now? So my opinion, down at the bottom, my opinion alert. You guys. When I ran that school, it was a school full of kids who were doing stuff like this. That's what was going on in the school. All kinds of things. It was a Christian school. But I got to experiment from K through 12 on hundreds of kids. Oh my gosh. And through the working with the kids that were ADD, ADHD, dyslexic, and high functioning autistic kids, I just experimented on them. I'm like, okay, there's this certain information. How do we get there? How do we get to this information? Do you just give them the information, or the symbols? Because there's no understanding. So the method that I used in everything and wrote a whole curriculum, K through 12, of directed self-discovery. That's how this happens. When you teach kids the way that they're being taught, it does not work. Directed self-discovery. Does that make sense, you guys? If you've got questions in the comments, let me know. Directed self-discovery. And all kinds of stuff starts happening. And when I have sessions with you guys, and in all of my workshops that I do, godbubble.com, it's directed self-discovery. Directed self-discovery. And all of it. So I take you there, but you've got to discover it yourself. But you might not have known where to look. And that's what I help with. So did you ever think of looking over here? Oh, no, I didn't know where there existed. Well, don't let me tell you what to see when you get there, but there's the door. Oh, thanks. That's my part. And I hope it's helpful for you to discover all this yourself. So these gifted kids, which are you guys, the ones that couldn't be programmed, ended up in some form of alternate schools because there were lots of behavioral problems. When they got to my school, I'm like, how in the world do we get away with this? This is like the year, 2000, 2001, 2002, around there. It's crazy that I just got to write the curriculum for all of them. So all of the curriculums, all of them that I wrote, it was just helping them to discover things themselves. And once they discover it themselves, then they understand it. And then it's like, okay, now that you have an understanding of what this thing is, this concept, if it's math or, whatever, now that you've got an understanding of what it is, here's the symbol that's applied to it. Oh, okay. Thanks. Now I know how to talk to linear thinking people with this symbol. Thank you for the symbol. Does that make sense, you guys? Understanding a concept first. So what do? We read books with lots of symbols. We practice the symbols, which are fun. We go have your fun. We go butcher the crap out of yourself. But understanding that you're God and you created all of that, the symbols aren't necessary. Isn't that a different way to experience the symbols? So if you think in a nonlinear fashion, you've done stuff like this in your life. Maybe not with a car. This is my fantasy. This is my fantasy of picking shit up. I just move a pencil and a peppermint and a butterscotch. I moved 3 things. Those are the 3 things I moved. Not a car. But it took like 2 whole weeks focusing like 8 hours a day to do that. And what did I spend all my time doing that time? Not pushing and pulling. Well, okay, I did. I spent all that time pushing and pulling. But when it really worked, I watched this video, you guys, and I saw that guy do it. And I was like, I remember. And then suddenly I moved it. But I didn't push it at all. That's because I experienced, and I'm not asking you to believe me that happened or whatever. But because that happened, and like immediately after each time, I would be like, "Oh my God, I did that!" And then I would push, and it wouldn't move. Every time you push and pull, you guys, you are locked into this reality and this set of rules that you can't. That these objects are outside of yourself. This object, a peppermint, it has rules. It stays on the table unless something knocks it off, like a cat or an earthquake, right? So you apply these rules to a peppermint until you let go of. That's what I did. It took 2 weeks, 8 hours a day, you guys. Holy fuck. To let go to the point. I'm thankful I had that time. It was a very unique circumstance. I had the time. And then I finally moved an object and then couldn't do it again for weeks. I was so frustrated. I kept pushing and pulling and pushing and pulling. But that's why I show you guys that way. So this is possible. Not when you push and pull. Because, I mean, what's she doing with her hands? That's a focusing technique. In all this, you're God. Hands don't matter. But if you think you are the avatar, use your hands. And then you let go of enough rules. You can do stuff like this, pushing and pulling. But then you're locked into the rules, and then you're locked into this reality because you're pushing and pulling. So why? Why was it important to suppress the natural abilities of these gate kids? Nonlinear thinking. You guys, if you've got a lot of traits, put them in the comments if you want to share. Even if you look it up off the internet, copy and paste. So let me know. Make sure you let us know your source so that people have a place to start researching. Oh, I can't. Okay, look, everybody, look at Ken's statement. I cannot say the actual words inside of what you wrote. Yes. This one can. That's really good at it. Oh, hey Brianna. Oh, no worries. Don't worry about that. Just, I mean, if you can do it, don't Don't like upset your work environment. If this is helpful, otherwise you can see it later. Ah, how are you guys doing? There you go. So, what type of an individual that we're looking at? We've got all these programs of experimenting. We've got an overall program of genetics. This is just a big genetics experiment. In order to have this experiment, you had to manipulate the behavior of those being experimented upon. You showed them a world that seemed big and vast, yet it was very tiny. If you look at the moon as a reflection of a cold plasma reflection, let's say, in that there's more than, if you look on a flat earth map, it fits. It's only a portion of the moon, and there's a lot of other land as well. So think about that, being in a place that is so controlled that the information you get about the outside world is very limited. And then we watch movies and TV shows and such that are about underwater worlds that are domed underwater. That it's like, ha ha ha, here's the plot line. And then they're underwater and they're like, oh, they think they're the only ones that survived some cataclysm or something like that. And they're safe wherever they are. And how many movies are out there about a society that wants to keep everybody in, so they put out all of these fear stories about out there. You can't live in outer space because it's a vacuum, has been the story that was told in school, the programming. And those of us that went through any basic science class in high school, and you did all those experiments. You remember, you guys, you took the tube and you turned it into a vacuum and you put a marshmallow in it and the marshmallow expanded. Okay. I'm going to try to say this without saying this. And then you would see that, oh, they're in space, and they're in space, and something went wrong with their spacesuit. And oh no, they're not with us anymore. Like that kind of thing that happens in space. And so I'm watching these movies, and what would happen to them was they would implode. There was an implosion. How does something implode if the pressure on the outside is so great towards the inside? It implodes. And so I'm like, wait a minute. Why? How would they get that wrong in a movie? And then I do the science experiment with the marshmallow, and I with a vacuum, that marshmallow is like, brrr. It's like, wow, that's a big marshmallow. That's when they had real ingredients in marshmallows. I'm not saying they're good for you, but the ingredients were actually real. So they probably still puff up. Anyway, so wait a minute. So-and-so's spacesuit was compromised and they imploded. Right after goodbye. Oh no, goodbye. Oh, I'll miss you. Implosion. Like, that's the opposite of what happens when there's a vacuum in science class. And then living in a world where that's going on, where you got science class that shows you a vacuum, and then a movie that's showing you that it could be underwater, way, way down underwater, where the pressure of water is so much that it crushes everything. Because what is space? What is it? When I remote view, and don't trust anything I say, you guys remote view everything yourself. I'll put a class together if you want me to show you how to remote view, so you guys can go do it. But when I remote view what's going on here, just going up, I mean, going down, that's a whole hour and a half to talk about. Go through the layers, going down underneath this remote viewing. Just going up fewer layers. It's easier to talk about. You go up, and because we're all in plasma, everything comes from plasma. 100%. 100% of everything is plasma. That's why I've got my workshop, the plasma stage. We are in plasma. Is it thin plasma? Is it medium plasma? Is it really thick and heavy plasma? What kind of plasma are we in? The plasma is so thin here. Do you know how hard it is to do what we do? I mean, seriously, how hard it is to play human. This is about the hardest thing you'll ever do. And anything you'll ever create in your wild days. This is it. I mean, this is the true test, you guys. This is the true test, really. The fact that you're still here, I'm very proud of you. Like, so totally. Hey, Melinda. Good to see you, Melinda. You guys, this is not medical advice or nutritional advice. Just the past few days, I've been eating lots of cucumbers and just fresh green things that I think is healthy for me. Eating a bunch of that, kind of in the realm of salads, because when it got cold, I had a hard time eating salads, so I just changed the ingredients. It seems to be working for me. I made my own tortillas. I know we're talking about like the GATE program and your God and shit, but I made homemade tortillas. And like, I'm not like a tortilla expert. I had like one of those tortilla squishing machines. And if I still have it, I don't know where it is. So it's like, well, get out the rolling pin. Let's see how well I can do it. And the first two I experimented on, I didn't do very well. So I only had 6 really good tortillas. But then after that, I figured out a special way to like roll it and everything and make these. Oh, you guys, these beautiful, glorious tortillas. I'm so proud of myself. I was so proud of myself. And the tortillas, they were amazing. And you know what? I knew every ingredient in those tortillas, and it didn't come from a company that a soup company might have gobbled up in the last 2 or 3 years. Like the organic, you guys check your organic companies and see if it's like, I really like this brand and I get everything in this brand because I trust this brand. Because I don't want to be the one that goes out and say, don't trust this brand. For me, when I search for that information, I go to Food Babe. All of us together, we're going to figure it out. Does that make sense? So Food Babe, like, she's really good at that. But you can look at who owns this company and when did they just buy it? Did they just buy this company? Tofu again. You guys. Oh my goodness. I'm so proud of myself. Just doing good things, whether it's the best healthy thing on the planet or not. It's like I care about myself. And I'm going to make all of these choices and do these things. And I am going to look up these labels when it feels like the entire world gets upset. If you point out there's something wrong with the food and from off the shelf, the plastic packaging that they call cheese, peanut butter crackers. You read the ingredients. They don't even fit on the individual packages. So you have to have the whole big box. At the end of the day, At the end of the day, you're God and you created all of this. It doesn't have any power over you. But if a focusing technique for you is, I don't trust the tortillas out there. I've done research on this company that has their sprouted wheat and all, and I've done my research on this company to the best that I can. And I feel like I've got these really good ingredients for making tortillas, and I'm going to make them and eat them at home. If that's a focusing technique for you, to be like, okay, what am I letting go of when I do good ingredients? If we're going to judge, right? Good and bad ingredients. What's a bad ingredient? With flour. If you put a lot of chemicals in the flour to process it, or just that it's processed in the first place. That's I've seen tidbits here and there that there's something going on television about governance and foods with ultra processed, and those are the ultra processed, which are epinized with a W. My opinion. That's just my opinion about it. It's epinized to and targeted to get you hooked. And then once you take a palate to its extreme, it's hard to go back to Mother Nature, especially when you go in the grocery store and strawberries are white in the middle. Strawberries are supposed to be red all the way through and juicy, sweet. Do we go to an extreme? What do we do? At some point, you let go. You let go of all of it. And when you let go, everything recycles basically through the black hole. Everything recycles through the black hole when you let go. When you hold on to it, you're trying to keep something that's constantly moving in place, pushing against water. So when you let go and you allow everything, this is like the natural eyeball I was telling you guys about. This is the experience that we're having, a natural eyeball that looks like this, and you're having the experience all at one time. Isn't that cool? You're having this experience all at one time. So think of what's happening here, and think of what's happening here, and think of putting, I don't have that prepared, I'm so sorry. Think of putting, I've got the logo down below, but I don't have it going sideways. Sorry about that. There, it's in the top corner. Think of it going sideways. And the eyeball is in the position of the white circle. Does that make sense? So this natural eyeball, when I put my charts out that I draw on the dry erase boards, I thought, let me make an AI. I'm loving the Canva AI. I'm controlling myself a little bit better and not making billions of anyway. I haven't hit my limit yet. In other words, I haven't hit my limit yet. They're happy. They're so happy with me. So you put that, and that's the matrix. The matrix is what you put on top of this. And what are those bubbles? Those are bubbles of consciousness. This is consciousness that's coming out of the natural eye. Isn't this cool, you guys? I was so pleased with what AI helped me with. I was so pleased. It's like, oh my gosh, now I can express it. Since we're the creators of everything, what kind of experience do we have? because this is how we're viewing it. We're viewing it from a natural eyeball type of place, and that varies. One looks almost like the rings of Saturn. Now we've got everything contained. Oh my gosh, you guys. Isn't this just amazing? And once we've looked through the triangle, the pyramid of the matrix, look how real the matrix looks. Look, it looks like a city down there with lights and everything. So in the matrix, the eye that we have in between those cute eyelashes does not exist. That body does not exist. So then what happens? Everybody else, the information is going into their pupils. And we get information that way as well. But what we do is project. We create a total field and project consciousness bubbles into all of this. That's why we're different. That's why we're different. Almost everything living has eyes, pretty much. They've got a lot of kids now that, I was trying to remember like their terminology for it, where they can see things without their eyes. Like they don't have to be looking at it with their eyes. And these like kids that have these extraordinary abilities and so forth. Just regular kids. Just regular kids. Kids that are angry. They're lost. They're bed rot. System's not working for them. They're angry. Generations after generations after generations of blocking this. And what are the abilities, you guys? If you know, you can list them in the comments if you like. What are these abilities? What are these abilities? So what is the succession here? We've got like Project Paperclip. Look that up. MK Ultra. Then we've got the GATE program. And then the Gateway program. And what is a Gateway program? These are Stargates. And in these Stargate programs, these programs are not for advancing these students that they deem academically or otherwise advanced. No, you're born with 100%. The reason that you go to an educational system, anything that has the word education in it, is programming. So if you're being educated, you're being told what to do. What is an education? Read what other people did and then do it. Well, fuck that. I'm sorry, my opinion alert. So what these institutions do, they lower the remote viewing abilities to 70% or lower, because these gate kids are 100% accurate. It cannot be programmed. See how dangerous that is for someone trying to hold a reality together, and you can see through it all. And systems that keep you suffering, and it's like, well, then I'm just not going to be in that system anymore. And then you don't fight systems. That's pushing and pulling. You fight it. You keep a system. You just go do something else, the systems go away. Is that cool? It's still letting go and allowing you guys. And you guys in the GATE program, see if these relate to you. Your abilities to mind control individuals or groups. You have this uncanny ability to be able to connect to nature in whatever form, whether it's pets, bees and wasps or bears or the trees. Moving objects with your mind, that you find you do that. And not on the list, but blowing or shorting out all of your electronics. But that usually happens. I see in working with over 17,000 people. Wait, hold on. Manipulation of reality. Yes, you're able to manipulate reality. The blowing out of like the TV and all of the electronics, when you come into your abilities and all, you're immediately put into one of the push-pull white light systems. So when you've got that much energy and you put it into a system, you're gonna you tap into Kundalini and all kinds of stuff, and it will blow out grids and all. So it's kind of cool and it's spectacular in these, Stranger Things, electric fingers and stuff. But see how caught up they are in a reality or a dimension, and they stay in that dimension because they fight in it. So when you're not pushing and pulling, because let's think of the reasoning. Why would you want to mind control individuals or groups to make them stop hurting me? Let's say, why would you want to move objects with your mind? Well, so I could throw objects at them so they'll get away from me. How would you like to manipulate your reality? Well, I don't want to be here anymore. Let me go somewhere else. You also have manipulation of time. So if you look at those in that capacity, or the ability to mind control individuals or groups, when you're healed, there's no reason to control others' minds, whether it be an individual or group, because you know that you're God and you created those individuals and they're just a projection of your unhealed state. Does that make sense? So you come into these abilities at a time when you're healed and you don't use these abilities to harm. Moving objects with your mind, because you know that objects can be moved. You understand that if you just let go and allow, you just create a reality that's absolutely amazing. What is there to move? Those in the GATE program tend to be mission driven, have a messiah complex. I've come here to save the world. And in the systems, that doesn't sound very good. But what is the world? But what you create. I'm here to save myself is what you're really saying. You're just caught up in characters that aren't real. So you think you're saving the world when you're saving yourself. And then your world changes. And then it's like, why am I creating something then to save myself from that? These little baby steps, right? If I just let go, allow it to heal in that area, then I'm not going to be saving myself. Then I'm just in a state of being now. Oh, I could just be. Isn't that beautiful? In the GATE program, aren't we dealing with the hybrids? I mean, let's be honest. Aren't these hybrids? You tell me your opinion. Change education to information and let us figure it out. Oh, that's fabulous. Because crap, I completely forgot the plot line and the story, and I don't know if I was like like cooking or chopping up vegetables or what when I was watching this. I didn't get the whole thing. But this kid that was like uber smart was supposed to be like going to school and instead like went to the library and just went to town, the library instead of going to school and ended up being in a much better place. Just going in there and saying, this is information. Where do I start? Right? And information, again, you take it or leave it. But we're going to educate you means you have to buy into everything we tell you. Because if one part of this falls down, the whole thing falls down, right? Programming. I'm going to put some more hot water in my tea. You guys, what are you guys drinking today? I've got dandelion root and leaf and peppermint. That's what I'm doing today. Oh, because the peppermint is a little tough to handle. It's not horrible, but that's why I put the peppermint in there. Yes, in my coffee maker over there. Oh, you guys. So does that make sense to any of you guys in this GATE program? And what's going on with the GATE kids now? What happens? A lot of people are waking up. They're putting their information out there. And I'm waking up. I'm remembering things. Not a lot of cohesion, but I'm remembering a lot. My coffee maker's still making a lot of noise. What do you guys think about the SCAPE program and the secret reasons they try to suppress your natural abilities? I don't know if it's even secret, right? The ones being experimented upon, are they looking for a super soldier? Is it truly that? Or is it the best human that we can be? Because when I do my research, you do your own research. Don't believe anything I say. And I look at brain scans of, I think it was specifically ADHD, which is under the umbrella of dyslexia. So under ADHD, hold on. Oh, I guess autism too. Autism too. Oh, there we go. Oh my God. Do I ever remember person? Well, hold on. Is it the Schumann resonance? Let me look at the Schumann resonance. Oh my God. Or was I channeling? Was that what it was? Oh my goodness. Okay, let me turn all my sound down. And then look at the Schumann resonance and see what's going on. Okay, Schumann resonance right now. That. No, it looks like grandma's crochet. I'm pretty sure. Have you guys looked at it? Let me look at the 8th. Trying to say, yeah, on the 8th. When I see a pattern like that, that is a lot of what people would call integrating. So where things like, come to mind, I let go and allow and I heal. I've done some crying, but then it's really productive. And I'm healing on levels I never healed before. Like if it's like let's say the wounds of growing up and all that, I'm seeing things from different perspectives and different angles in very interesting ways because I'm allowing it, being very intuitive. Right, you guys. There we go. So, where I step in, I guess where I help, a lot of you were in the GATE program. And even if you weren't in the GATE program, you've got a lot going on. There were a lot of you that went to it's called graduated from the MONROE Institute and went to my remote viewing classes. That's a gateway project. Again, that's where I saw. And one thing that I learned from Psychic Bob is that the psychics that they promote and that become really big and powerful and stuff, or whatever that's called, no matter what the platform is, they're only 70% correct. So in this program, they have a place for, I'll throw the label psychic on it. They've got a place for psychic or alternative people that are limited to 70% accurate or less. So the ones that are 100% accurate, their careers are suppressed, their ability to get out there and demonstrate this is suppressed to show people it's possible. And if you can mind control individuals and groups, then you know you're in control of everything. Then you know you're in plasma creating all of this. And moving objects with your mind. Moving objects with your mind. What's happening in the pushing and pulling world, because there's so much white light going on right now, is a lot of people are waking up. A lot of people are waking up from what? From the programming. When you start to let go of all of these systems, the programming melts away. Now, you go into another system of programming, but the rules are more lenient. Or some might call it like fifth dimension or higher dimensions. The rules are lenient. Manipulation of reality. That is you knowing you're in the plasma field. Manipulation of time, the same thing. You know that there's no such thing as time in the plasma field. You just put things in a certain order. Mission driven. That is a big, huge telltale sign. Some people in the GATE program, whether it's spoken or not, are mission driven. We know we're here on a mission. A messiah complex in whatever form. Some of these get caught up in the matrix, and they're like, I am the messiah for all. And you've got the antichrist and all of that stuff. So you've got that going on. And then you've got what is the idea of Messiah? The idea of Messiah is Savior. So if we've got a Savior, like a Messiah complex, I've come to save everybody. Well, you're God and you created all of creation. And why are you creating a reality that you've got to save yourself or everybody from? See, we might come here with a Messiah complex and go, oh, that's what I meant. Oh, I see. It was just me understanding I created everything. So why am I not this Messiah? Because I know I created everything. Does that make sense? Isn't that cool? Cool. Knowing that Messiah complex is just about Savior. That's the unhealed state that I'm in right now, is creating all of this stuff to save myself from. I'm just going to let go of it. Then there's nothing to save myself from. So these feeling like you're a savior, down to, oh, I've just got to save myself. You don't have to anymore. You're healed. Human hybrids. What is that? What is a human hybrid? Human and there's all kinds of stuff that's like being mixed here. Heinz 57 variety, right? So human hybrids, a certain special blood, certain blood type. You guys, things that make you go. When you cry, you release water bubbles from your eyes. God bubbles, you've heard. I love it. That's so cute. I love it. So, do you guys have any questions? Anything? We can continue this conversation on another broadcast. I've got a beautiful day outside, about an hour. I've got a mentorship class to attend, and I'm gonna go plug my phone in so I can make sure and attend the whole class. It'd be nice. See if there's anybody that I can assist in this process. You guys, hey, thanks for hanging out. You guys are freaking awesome. I'm gonna make it out of here and probably go eat some salad. What's on my list of things to do today is salad. So, thank you guys so much for coming in, hanging out with me. You guys rock. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I appreciate you. So, I guess I will see you on the next video.
Roll of dreams where the stars align. Kelly Coffee takes you on a ride divine. In her thought bubble we soar through the night. Exploring the universe, our vision takes flight. The symphony of galaxies fills the air. Come with me, let's ride on the cosmic breeze. With Kelly Coffee, we'll journey through galaxies. In her God bubble, we'll explore the unknown. A grand adventure like